Okay, so I recently went to Sephora and I bought several different products to try. Um, and right now, what I have on my face is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and it's in opal, so it's the lightest shade. And basically, um, I didn't want to wear foundation because we live in Florida and the heat is very extreme and the humidity just makes everything fall off. So I figured something tinted would be better. And then my eyebrows are the Sephora gel. And the color for this is a neutral gray brown. However, I just went to the drugstore and I bought some cruelty-free brands to try out and compare them to the name brands. And specifically, I really wanted to try and look at the Too Faced Natural Face Palette, which comes with 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers. I really love it. The smell is amazing. It's almost like a sweet, powdery scent, and it has a mirror, and then these are all of the shades. However, the retail cost is quite expensive, so I want to see if I can sort of mimic or create a dupe using cheaper brands. So what I ended up getting was the Hard Candy Just Glow, and that is a highlighter. I find that I haven't even used the bronzer for the Too Faced palette, so I'm thinking that that's something that I don't even need. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a blush, so I can't test that. And also what else I got was the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Color Corrector, and this is for dark circles. I'm going to be comparing that to the Bella Under Eye Corrector, and all I have of that is a sample, but once again, the price difference is pretty significant. So I believe this is $32, and this only cost me, I think like $4 or $5. So we'll see how they compare. And then the highlighter was $6, and the Too Faced palette, the large one, comes out at $44. So we'll see how it looks. So right now I just have the Bare Minerals on and I have my eyebrows done, and that's it. So from there. So this is the sample of the Bella. And once again, I'm a hot mess mom, so you can hear my child screaming in the background. And I'm just going to apply it with my fingertips, and it's just going to be a very light application. So it's very creamy, which concerns me because I do have fine lines under my eyes, and whenever I wear anything that's like creamy, it starts sort of building up in the creases and it does not look good. So there's that. I feel like I still look, I can see the brightener here, but right under there, it looks very dark. The Wet n Wild one comes with a little sort of foamy, plushy applicator. I'm not going to use that, and then you just pull this tab off, and there's the product underneath. This is more like a peach color, and then I'm just going to dab my finger on there. Oh my goodness, just a dab. That is a ton of product. So I'm going to wipe some of that off and then apply to the under eye. So this one is actually lighter. It feels more water-based. It's not as thick of a consistency. And I don't know, I think that I'm actually liking, let me close this and see if that changes the lighting. I think I'm liking the Wet n Wild one better. Maybe it's just the angle, but it does seem to be just slightly more covered. Here you can still sort of see like a darkness, and here it's a little bit lighter. So for me, I am gonna have to say that the winner for the under eye brightener is definitely going to be the Wet n Wild. However, I haven't tested how it will look in a couple hours, so we'll see if it creates any type of creasing or anything like that. But I like that it looks a little bit more matte. Here you can see it's more sort of highlighted, and I don't particularly care for that look. Okay, so with the highlighter, I'm gonna use the Starlight color, which is this one up here. It's a little bit closer to the highlighting shade from Hard Candy. I really have just started highlighting, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna put some, I think you're supposed to put it like around your eye socket. And if anybody knows any good like a highlighter contouring beginner videos, go ahead and point me to that, because I am not the best. One thing I will say about this, I've used the Too Faced now for a few days, and it has staying power. I put it on in the morning, and by the time evening rolls around, I am still very much highlighted. The blush is still very present. Like, I've never had to touch up or anything like that. And then obviously it just smells amazing. It definitely sort of has like a shimmer to it. And so let's see how the Hard Candy compares. Basically you're supposed to swirl all three colors together. So I will go ahead and do that. Doesn't really look like there's much product on the brush, but we'll see. Okay, so I feel like the Hard Candy one, because it has this darker shade over here on the left, creates a darker highlight. And maybe that's supposed to be like a highlight slash contour, but I don't see it as harsh. Here it's like more luminous, and on this side it's a little bit darker. So I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. However, they both look relatively similar. Once again, this one feels a bit darker, and I've never really contoured or highlighted once again, so maybe I'm just feeling that because I'm not used to it, but it does feel like it stands out more, and I don't particularly care for that. I do, once again, still really like the highlighter of the Too Faced. Both of the products are cruelty-free. This one is definitely not bad though. So for $6, I think it's doing a very decent job of highlighting the, what is this? Is this even a cheekbone? The socket area. So I'm actually quite impressed with all that. I decided to come outside in natural lighting for my final thoughts, so you can see what it actually looks like. So in selfie mode on my camera. I can't zoom in, so I'm just gonna bring you in real close, and hopefully you can see. This is the, God, I should probably know my products right. This is the Becca under eye highlighter on my left, and then this was the Wet n Wild under eye concealer on my right. They both look sort of relatively the same now, I would say. Still looks dark to me. Maybe this side is a little bit darker. It could be the angle. But if you look, there's definitely a whole bunch of sort of product gathering in the creases of my eye, and that is for both of them. So for me personally, I think that I would probably do better with a whoa, sorry, I dropped you guys. So for me personally, I think I would probably do better with a powdered or mineral type of under eye corrector, just because I do tend to get product that collects in the creases, and I really haven't found anything that doesn't do that. As far as the highlighter, I think that they are relatively the same, and if you want a high-end product, Too Faced is definitely a good product to purchase, especially since it's cruelty-free. But if you want to stay within budget and have a lower price point, then the drugstore version that I talked about earlier is definitely, I would say, a good alternative. So any questions, comments, feel free to leave those below.